Hello and welcome to the Kate Gourmet. My name is Jeremy and today we'll take some tofu and turn it into gyoza. I'll show you how. Let's get started.
I'll be using firm tofu, which is really the only tofu you would want to use for this. Tofu is a great substitute for meat for two reasons. One, as a source of protein, but also it acts as a binder too. But in order to do that, we need to wring out as much moisture as possible. Wrap it up in a paper towel. To help it along, let's put a small weight on it like a plate. Set that aside for at least 20 minutes. In the meantime, let's get our vegetables ready. I'm going to start by shredding some cabbage. First, I'll cut it into thin strips. Turn it and then run my knife through it a few more times until I have a fine dice like this. Next, to remove moisture from the cabbage, we will toss it into a strainer and salt it. Make sure it's sitting over a sink or another container for it to drain. Back to the other vegetables. I'll cut up some mushrooms. Mushrooms are always welcome when substituting for meat. They bring a rich umaminess to the table. I'll remove the stems, rinse them off, stack them, and slice. I want to cut them as finely as I did the cabbage, so I will collect them, turn them, and dice my way through until they are nice bits like this. I'll set those aside. For texture and color, I'm going to use a carrot, which I will peel. And instead of dicing, I will slice it into thin matchsticks with a mandolin. A nice orange mountain of carrot now. This has been a common theme in our prep, but we will grab the carrot and squeeze out as much moisture as possible. Next we'll prepare nira, which are garlic chives. I'll cut these up finely. They have a garlicky taste, but not as harsh as raw garlic. You could use regular garlic here, but it could be a little overpowering. Toss those in the bowl with the mushrooms and carrots. The last vegetable will be some bean sprouts, which for once I will be cutting up. It may sound odd to put diced bean sprouts in, but they give a nice texture and crunch to the gyoza. Toss those in with the rest of the vegetables, and let's check in on our cabbage. Give them a few squeezes to wring out any excess moisture, and give them a couple tosses over the sink. Add them to the rest of the vegetables. Time for the tofu. Look at how much liquid has come out of the tofu. Carefully dispose of this liquid and unwrap the tofu. Now when I squeeze, nearly nothing comes out, which is a great sign. Here comes the fun part. Add it on top of the vegetables, and with some clean hands, break it apart and mix everything together, until you have a multicolored mixture like this. Unlike its pork-based counterpart, I will not use any soy sauce or sake because that would add too much moisture back in. So instead, I will season simply but generously with salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Alternatively, you could sprinkle in a kombu-based dashi or a vegetable stock cube for seasoning. See what you like best. The best part of it being vegan is that you can taste the mixture and season accordingly. With our tofu and vegetable mixture ready, let's get our gyoza filled. We will use standard gyoza wrappers, which are made from just flour and water. Grab a little spoonful of the filling, which it's sticking together nicely. Fold the gyoza closed in half and pinch the edges shut. Use some water on the outside edge of the gyoza and pleat from one side to the other until they look like this. Let's see that again, closer up. Filling in the center. Fold and pinch the edges. Water. And then pleat. Pleats will help the sauce stick to the wrapper once dipped. Continue this process until all the dumplings are filled.
We have our veggie gyoza filled. Let's get out a frying pan and fry them. We're using a gas stove this time, but the method is largely the same as when we made meat gyoza. But the method is the same if you were to use ground meat. So we'll heat up a large frying pan and add a little vegetable oil to it. Last time we lined them up in 2 rows, but let's make a different design this time. So,
instead of 2 lines, let's line them up in a circle like a flower. Add 2 more in the center.
Just sear them for about 2 minutes, then we'll steam them covered with some water for another 6 minutes. Make sure you regulate your heat. You don't want it too hot, you don't want to burn the outside. We do want a little crust, but not burnt. I have my water standing by. Okay, they're getting a little color, so here we go. Drizzle over some water. Immediately cover, turn down the low. Let's come back in 6 minutes to see how they look.
Hey, while we wait for the gyoza to steam, leave a like, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay, so it's been about 6 minutes. Let's take a look and see how we did. Alright, so they look pretty good. Let's flip. We'll flip by taking a plate and dropping it on top. And now the moment of truth. There it is, our vegetable gyoza. Let's give them a taste. So there they are. They look really good. Alright, so just grab a gyoza and dip it in the sauce. I use the same sauce as last time, vinegar, soy sauce, and a little rayu chili oil. So dip it and let's give it a taste. It's so good. When you use tofu like this, you don't need any egg. The tofu just helps everything bind together if you properly drain it first of water so that you get those nice binding effects. But this is so flavorful. You have a nice crunch. I mean, it's just vegetables and tofu chopped up, and it stays together really nicely as a gyoza. This is a great plant-based alternative to the usual gyoza. It's packed with flavor, packed with texture. It's a great way to eat your vegetables, so give veggie gyoza a try. If you enjoyed this recipe, leave a like and subscribe for more recipes just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.